Hello and welcome back to Infinifactory. Today we are going to work on an anti-Javelin battery. Let me see. Hello, Nia.
Salvitros does not share Miruvo's interest in humans. Frankly, I'm kind of relieved. Could you imagine if they were all like that?
Uh-huh. Alright. So, this is interesting looking. So we get this thing that I believe we've built in the past. It looks familiar. The thrusters are broken, but the support units are fine and the guns look fine. And the main unit also looks, except for that crack right there, looks pretty good. So we're going to destroy a lot of it, but salvage these pieces and build that thing. So that's interesting. Okay, so let's begin by just bringing it out here. And let's just look at what it looks like on the track. Are they using that front box at all? No. No, they're not. So basically we need 3 of the main units, which won't be hard to get. 2 guns, and then 1 of these support units. Okay. Hmm. Right now, that sensor's not doing anything. I can't detach that from the gun without destroying the gun. I mean, this is very much just needed to separate them into the core components. So we need this gun with the support to go one direction, this gun to go one direction on its own, and then 3 blocks from this going on its own. So let me do a laser show right here. There, there, and there. Okay, let me see. Yeah, right there is the point where we want it to happen. So I think I can get away with putting the sensor right here because I think the second cannon will fall. Boom. Yes. Second cannon will fall. Honestly, we could probably just go ahead and throw another laser right there. Boom, completely eviscerate that stuff. And then wherever we send these, we'll just send a laser through those. Okay, a little bit of an issue. It's a little too close. This eviscerator's hitting the cannon. It can't do that. So let me see if I can change that. I mean, yeah, it's just a matter of moving it. Moving it one down should get the same result. Gonna have to connect it. Boom. Okay. So now turn that bad boy. One more time. Okay. That's gonna be a little bit of a problem. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, let's see. This turns away. Okay. We also need a line here, which I forgot. Completely forgot about that. Stop it. Dang it. Keep pressing the wrong button. Okay. I guess you would say. So 9. Let's go this way. God damn it. Alright. Come on. Are you kidding me? Well, that one's stuck. This one. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. So, let's maybe build this out like that instead. I mean, now we're at least holding the cannon. Up on its pedestal, which I like. And we can also push it that way, which I also like. Can I immediately get rid of this? Looks like maybe I can. A little bit of secret conduit right there. Alright. So now, boom, that piece leaves. And these pieces are coming, and boom, once that hits, God damn it. I don't know why I'm failing so hard with the buttons today. Oh shit. Oh man. That gun's now getting caught on that push on that yeah, push block that I left sit there. Okay. Did you? Okay. So it's now getting caught on those belts that took it away. Oh, because we covered up a fucking laser. That'll cause it. That'll cause that problem for sure. Okay. So the solution, we actually needed to do the opposite thing. we needed to push it down a little bit further, and we brought it up. Okay. Bang. Here's this. Let's send them both. Well, no, I think we're still using that. Again, not the button I meant. Bang. Oh my god. Again, not the button I meant. How? How am I so terrible at these controls? Okay. So, boom, laser, sensor hits. These two get shoved. Okay. Well, we now have everything going the same direction, which I'm a little bit pessimistic about, but honestly, that's probably unnecessary. Let's have you come this way. And you too. I mean, I don't see why I couldn't have them all go the same direction. It would honestly probably be easier. So, forget I said anything. Well, no, actually, remember I said everything because I don't want the additional. We need another set of lasers, and I don't want that getting in the way. Something in the way. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Everything I do causes more issues. Okay, so. This is kind of a situation I feel like we kind of have to deal with that happening. So, as much as I'm not happy about it, I think they at least for the first section here, they have to come the same direction. We can do risers or something if we need to. Really? You're really gonna get sucked out like that? What if I add these? I don't want that piece being a dick. Oh, now that piece got sucked. Haha. Okay. So, just take one off of there. Alright, there we go. Really suck that fucking thing out of there. Okay. So now... We need all these pieces going different places. And that's where this is gonna get fun. The bars can hold together, I think. So there's those pieces. And that's all we need for those. Okay, we're getting to the rear end of this. So I think we can actually put on a welder there. And I think we want the same thing here. I'm actually thinking a lifter here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Those should have already left. I don't think we need a lifter. I think we need a dropper here. But I don't think that's gonna work because we get rid of that. So one, two, three, and the lasers hit. So we need 6 here, 9 here, and maybe a pusher here? Okay. That drops, that drops. Okay. That's what I want. We got a couple of problems. Welding this whole platform together is going to be tough, but not impossible. Not impossible. What we just need to change how these blocks go. Okay. Yeah, that's all. I think that's all we need to do. This shouldn't be hard at all. So okay. Okay, look at how this happens. Okay, this is beautiful. I'm very pleased with that. If there's an issue, it's that block isn't getting welded to the base. And that is probably a problem. So we're going to ignore that for now. But I think that's going to be one of these things that you simply cannot ignore. The game's going to have a problem with that. No question. So you know what's gonna happen here. This is gonna push the whole. This is gonna push the top, but not the bottom, because they're not welded together. Oh man! All right. And I think if we try to push the bottom, the same thing's gonna happen. The bottom's gonna get shoved out. Yep. Bottom absolutely gets shoved out. I am completely certain that there are ways to bypass this, but it's not. They're not going to accept it. There's no way they're going to accept it. So we need to figure out how to solve. Okay. I'm gonna try what could be a silly solution first, but it won't be silly if it works. Why? Wrong buttons are plaguing me today. Alright. See where this puts us. Interesting. Okay, forget about that one. Okay. So then that happens. So like that would function. Right there would function. This needs to be on a bit of a delay. Which isn't a problem, obviously. And then we need to do something with these. I'm thinking the only option here is to send it that way. Okay. We can send it that way, but keep it over here. Like this, and then these two. Okay. I was afraid of that, but I wasn't sure enough to say anything about it. Okay, so fix those, and you're going to be coming down here for now. For now. Okay, that actually functioned. So now, okay, here's where it needs to be. Boom. You're hitting right there. So you're the one that pushes it out. So 9 right here. You're the one that's going to bring it around. And basically, come on, man. You knew what I wanted. I think this can just wait, you know? So we're talking like... We're talking like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just see. Let me just see how that looks. Okay. Like, that's all we need. We just... No, it needs to be sitting right on top. It can't... There's no way for it to wait. So it needs to be an actual delay. So how far? You are there? Oh, we got a long way to go here. Alright, so... So about 21 is what I'm saying, so... Let's try it like that for now. this is going to be wrong. Because I'm dealing with such a huge piece, it's going to be a little awkward to give it a delay. Okay. Okay, that piece is moving. Oh, look how close. I need to push it further and also take off. So let's go like that. That was actually really close. Okay, and ooh, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Ooh, baby. That's fine. You know what? That's fine. Let me see. We need... One, two, three. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. This. And then I'm thinking, honestly, just move that here, move that there, and I think we might be done. That's one. That's two. We're done, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. Absolutely fantastic. A lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be right at the start, but overall, relatively simple design. There's just a lot of stages to this. So let's do the talk through, because I think we're going to need it for this one. So the shuttle comes out. A broken shuttle comes out. Immediately, this piece of it gets eviscerated. Boom, boom. We don't need it. And I actually didn't see that falling before. I don't want that to jam the system, so let's just go ahead and make sure that gets destroyed. It comes down the line into another eviscerator, hits these overhead conveyors, which turn it, so the whole front gets eviscerated. That side got eviscerated. Now here, we're eviscerating the thrusters on the rear. So these 4 thrusters, well, this one's already gone, but these 3 are getting destroyed with that eviscerator. God damn it, wrong button. And then what's remaining comes down, hits this sensor, which launches a barrage of lasers plus a push block. So let's just poof, those get destroyed. 4 different lasers destroying the center support, so that all we have left is the 2 guns, one with a support, one without, a 2 block and a 3 block of main units. Okay, that's all we're left with. The push block is pushing the 3 block out of here. The 2 blocks moving on, the gun's moving on, and the gun with support is moving on. The 3 block will drop down, take a step out, and the centerpiece will be eviscerated so that we have just 2 single blocks. Honestly, we could simplify this design a lot if we just destroyed this 2 block and used this 3 block. Like, we don't need... We're destroying a 3 block here and then welding together 3 blocks. So that's something we didn't have to do. This is overly complicated, I just realized, but we have it working right now, and I'm not willing to redo it because we're going to have to turn these blocks or reroute them, and it's going to mess up the timing of things, and it's going to take a while to make it work that way. But I want you guys to know that I have realized that I'm doing too many steps here. But this 2 block gets to this sensor, takes a turn on the belt, pushes both guns to their respective lines. And then from there, the 2 block falls down, hits an eviscerator, so now it's a single block again. And all 3 single blocks just go to their own welder to make them into 3 blocks, while the guns go to their own welders to make them into 3 blocks. And that just repeats until we get 3 of a kind of something. 3 of a kind of this center block, it drops down, goes around, sits right there on the welder. The same with this one. When it gets the 3rd block, it gets pushed out, goes around, sits at the welder. This one gets lifted up, takes a step out so that it lines up properly, and then comes down the line here, which we will talk about in a second. This cannon array just goes down the line into a delay so that it falls at the time we need it. The most complicated thing right now is that this 3rd cannon with support comes out, hits a sensor, which is... No, it doesn't hit the sensor. I changed that. So it comes out, they're welded into 3s. And it's actually this 3rd block that gets lifted up. That's the one that hits the sensor. So it comes down, it hits the sensor. And this triggers 2 lasers, which destroy 2 of the supports because we only need the center support. And it also activates a push block here to push that cannon on its way. So, poof, lasers, that gets destroyed, the cannon gets pushed out, and then it drops down into this welding station right on top of that block. And then it will take a sideways turn and drop down onto the welder. Meanwhile, that cannon's just out there delaying. The 3rd 3 block comes in, the one with the longest trip, comes in, hits the welder. Because it's all welded together and because there's a conveyor under it, that whole system gets pulled out, goes down the line, eventually gets fallen on by that cannon that was delaying. It cannot fall. You know, this wouldn't work in real life because this is heavier on this side, so it would topple over. But in the game, it will just sit there and wait until it can fall straight. But before it does that, the almost completely assembled system comes underneath it, and they get welded together, and so the whole thing gets taken along to the output. And that is our working prototype. I'm a little bit bummed to realize how much I'm wasting by not just using this 3 block. Instead, eviscerating the blocks into singles and creating my own 3 blocks. That's a little strange. It does keep me from having to twist them, but if I were creating this from scratch, I would not do that. I would just use that 3 block. I would probably put an eviscerator right here and just get rid of that 2 block after it strikes the sensor. But it is how it is, and like I said, it's going to be a lot of adjusting to use those blocks. The timing would be way off. The structure would be way off. You know, we could use those 3 blocks. They could come in over the top. That would be one thing we could do. But one of them still has to be lifted so it can be welded separately. It's a whole thing, and it's not something I'm willing to do right now. So, you know, we'll take our working prototype. and we will call it a day. And boom. Cycle score pretty nice, but footprint and block way too high, and that's expected because I did way too many steps. But yeah, we've got it done. That's always been our mantra, you know, just make it happen, and optimization can take a backseat. So that is going to be it for this episode. I will see you all on the next one, which will be MagTube Corridor. See you soon.